This is a race against time, a gamble with life at stake. 4 prisoners of war changed into SS uniforms, stole the commander's car, and walked out of Auschwitz in a grand manner. What's even more unexpected is that none of the guards dared to conduct an interrogation. On the early morning of June 1942, prisoner Kakmi, numbered 918, under the supervision of armed guards, dragged heavy concrete blocks and walked through the work area step by step. He was arrested for participating in Poland's resistance to Nazi and German aggression. During his 2 years in the concentration camp, he witnessed countless SS brutality and dared not slack off at work. At this moment, his friend Ginek quietly came over and whispered the news that he had been included in the death penalty list. The SS planned to dispose of him within a week. In order to survive, Gineka decided to give it a go and implement a bold escape plan. He also explained to Kakmi that his job in the concentration camp allowed him to have access to all the vehicles in the vehicle distribution plant, even including the car of the concentration camp commander Rudolf. This unique condition allowed him to come up with an unprecedented escape plan. Previously, the escape methods of the concentration camps were more conventional, such as cutting the barbed wire fence and bribing the foreman, while taking advantage of the night to fight for the opportunity to go out to work. But these means were already well known to the SS, and the countermeasures were also very mature. Fritsch, the deputy commander of Xizhongying camp, would warn everyone every time he was named. If one person managed to escape, the SS would randomly select 10 prisoners, unaware of retaliation. So every escape action is often accompanied by the death of a large number of innocent people. But Ginek's plan is completely different. He plans to drive the SS official vehicle, wearing their uniforms and swaggering out of the front door. After listening to Casimir, he also realized that he also has a unique advantage. His work needs to be rotated to the camp storage warehouse, where SS uniforms, weapons, and various equipment are stored. But the care is very loose. In this way, the two's escape plan gradually took shape, but they realized that they still needed 2 reliable companions to assist. Unexpectedly, before they could take the initiative to find it, the first companion came to the door by himself. This person is 19-year-old Asta, also from Poland, who was arrested after participating in the anti-occupation march. He not only spoke German very fluently, but more importantly, he had a 40-page report hidden in his hands, which contained complete eyewitness testimony about concentration camps, systematic extermination plans, poisonous gas incidents, and medical experiments. Once he managed to escape, he could let the outside world know thoroughly about the heinous crimes of Auschwitz. At this moment, the appearance of the 4th accomplice was completely unexpected. He was a Catholic priest, Lompat. For the past few months, Lompat has been presiding over the dying for the dying prisoners. After listening to the plan outlined by Kakmi, he silently made a cross and agreed to join without hesitation. In June 1942, 4 people were imprisoned and had only 11 days to plan the escape. They chose Saturday, June 20th, to implement the plan, because every weekend, the work in the camp will end early, and when the detainees return to their residences to rest, the guards will be lax. The 5 10-minute vehicle dispatch areas are often empty, and the maintenance personnel go to the cafeteria to eat. The warehouse is even left unattended, but they can only use 15 minutes if they fail to pass before 12:15 noon. The last checkpoint will be a disaster waiting for 4 people. The 4 conspirators perform their respective duties and have a clear division of labor. Tineke is responsible for printing the keys of the vehicle dispatch area on soap and using scrap metal to create an imitation test to ensure that the keys are available. Guard, its Rice quietly loosens the work leading to the cellar of the warehouse. The door bolts open up a secret entrance for everyone. Asta recites German military terms, repeatedly imitating the stiff standing posture of SS soldiers. Late at night, the 4 of them made a cruel pact in the barracks. If they were about to be arrested, everyone must be killed by themselves before being interrogated. They knew that the torture of the concentration camp was enough to break anyone's will. However, there was still an uncontrollable variable in the plan. They did not have a pass through the main entrance checkpoint. Now they have neither relevant documents nor forged seals. They can't find anyone in the administrative office who can provide assistance. They only have 4 sets of stolen uniforms for camouflage. They can only pin their hopes on unknown luck. At 11:30 a.m. on June 20th, these 4 people took advantage of the labor gap to quietly leave the workplace and gather in an unfinished barracks and attic on the east side of the camp. All understand that the next hour will be the key to life and death. At 11:55, the 4 of them went downstairs to act. Etchmi and Ginek pushing a cart full of garbage. Asta and Lempert carefully stabilized the body to prevent the garbage from being dumped. The guard at the inner door glanced at the 4 pushing the garbage truck. The figure of the administrative district, the pungent smell of rotten food, perhaps annoyed by the smell. The guards did not verify their work tasks, so they waved their hands impatiently to let them pass. After the four passed through the gate and entered the administrative district, they still lowered their heads and pushed the garbage truck along the gravel road. Even if a Nazi officer passed by, they only took a quick look and did not stop. The state of the oppressed people on weekdays has now become the most natural cover. They discarded the garbage truck in the warehouse. The back aisle, Kachik brought everyone to a cellar, gently pushed the cellar door open. Four people in turn climbed down the wooden ladder to the first floor. At this time, the warehouse is silent. Most of the guards are eating in the cafeteria. A locked door upstairs blocks the way to the storage room on the second floor. Aster hit 3 times in a row, finally smashed the door frame, and entered the room smoothly. In the storage room, uniforms arranged by size are neatly hung on metal hangers. Pistols with holsters are piled up on the shelves. Fur-colored rifles stand on the wooden frame, and the ammunition box is printed with eye-catching military badges. The 4 men are stunned in place. After a brief shock of the crocodile, their survival instinct drives them to move quickly. In less than 4 minutes, they took off his striped jersey and put on his uniform.